Almost everything you've been taught about Revelation is historically backwards. I'm not clickbaiting you. We've been taught that Revelation is a book about the future Fae, the end of the world, the Antichrist, Fae, the Great Tribulation, the Rapture, Fae, all those Hollywood end times movies. But there's one question almost nobody asks: what if Revelation was never written for Fae's Fae in the first place? What if it was a letter written for its own time, Fae, for people living under the boot of Rome, people being hunted and killed? I'll prove it by the end of this video. Hold your judgment until then, because when we're done, you will read the entire last book of the Bible completely differently. And one more thing, almost every popular end, Times movie, Fae, Left Behind Fae, all those Fae-style things, Fae, they get the core assumption wrong. I'm talking about the rapture. We'll get to that, but first, we have to go back to the beginning. The book is called Revelation. But the first word is actually Fae-apocalypsis, Fae Greek for unveiling. Not hiding, unveiling. The author is John, but not the sweet old apostle John you've seen in stained glass. This is John of Patmos, Fae, a political prisoner exiled to a rock quarry on a tiny island in the Aegean Sea. He wasn't just inspired Fae, he was punished by the Roman Empire. He wrote this with calloused hands. He wrote to 7 churches, not symbolic stages, Fae real churches, Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, in modern-day Turkey. These weren't comfy midweek gatherings. Their members were being turned in, arrested, executed. So ask yourself, if you're an underground Christian and Roman soldiers could kick down your door any minute, how do you write a letter? Do you write, "Dear brothers, here's the weather forecast for the year Fae"? No. You write, "Hold on, God sees. The bad guys will be judged." That's why John used apocalyptic imagery, symbols, visions, beasts, numbers. That wasn't mysticism. That was survival, like coded messages in a resistance movement. Daniel, Ezekiel, Fae, same genre, same pattern, beasts, horns, numbers, heavenly courtroom. Every Jew would have recognized it. So now we do something almost nobody does. We crack the code. Let's go back to around Phaead, Emperor Domitian, the Roman Empire. Now open Revelation, Fae, a beast rises from the sea, 10 horns, 7 heads, blasphemous names. If you lived in the 1st century, you didn't need a commentary. You saw it immediately. That's Rome. 7 heads, Fae Rome, was built on 7 hills. City of 7 hills was shorthand for Rome. Then a second beast. It forces everyone, Fae rich or poor, free or slave, Fae to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. Without it, you can't buy or sell. What in the 1st century stopped you from doing business? Not a microchip, not a vaccine. It was the imperial cult. Rome demanded every provincial offer a pinch of incense to the spirit of the emperor and say, "Caesar is Lord." Then you got a certificate Fae, a little clay token or papyrus. Without it, the market closed to you. John says, you take that mark, you can't enter God's kingdom, you refuse it, you might starve. That's the mark of the beast, Fae, loyalty test, not sci-fi. Now the big one, Fae, Revelation, Fae, this calls for wisdom. Let the one who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is Fae in Hebrew. Nero Caesar Fae, write it with letters, add up the values, you get Fae. Some manuscripts even have Fae. That's the Latin spelling variation. So beast, Fae Nero, Fae the Roman Empire, Babylon, Fae Rome, Revelation, Fae says Babylon sits on 7 hills, Fae, that's Rome. Fae Nero's name. How do you feel now? You thought Revelation was about some future computer system. It's about a Roman emperor who was already dead when John wrote. Let me show you a map, Fae Roman trade routes, see that? Without that trading permit, you couldn't get from Antioch to Ephesus. That's what John's audience saw in their heads. At this moment, a lot of people's minds shift. If this is new to you, you need to subscribe. We're about to go deeper. If you've never heard this before, Fae, you're in the right place. This channel will change how you read the entire Bible. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. We have over 10,000 people watching right now. Join them. Let's keep going. Now you might think, okay, if it's just about Roman Nero, Then what does that have to do with me? Isn't it expired? I get that, but here's the flip. Understanding the original meaning makes it Fey more Fey relevant. Not less, because Revelation doesn't teach a feature timeline Fey. It teaches a Fey pattern Fey. Every empire thinks it's the final empire. Rome did, the Third Reich did, every superpower does, and every empire falls. Revelation says, in every age when the power system becomes beastly Fey demanding worship, enforcing lies, persecuting Fey God never gave his people a helicopter out. He gave them stand firm or die faithful. So the message isn't let's calculate the rapture date. It's faithfulness under unjust power is always the call, from Rome to the Soviet Union to any system that says obey us or we won't let you live, Fey. That's the same beast in different skin. So the question is no longer will Nero come back. The question is where is the beast today? What is it asking me to do? And will I refuse the mark? Now let's land the biggest point. Revelation is not about God giving up on the world. It's not about God airlifting Christians out and torching the planet. Look at the end. Revelation, Fey, the New Jerusalem, Fey comes down, Fey out of heaven. Not us going up, comes down. Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them. Not people leaving earth to go to heaven, Fey, heaven coming to earth. The entire biblical arc, creation, Fey fall, Fey rescue, Fey new creation. Genesis starts with a garden, Revelation ends with a city, Fey. A city where God himself lives, with a river of life and trees that heal the nations. This isn't a destruction, it's a renovation. God isn't tearing the house down. He's making it new. So if you thought Revelation ends with the good guys zapped away and the earth burned up, Fey, read it again. The fifth bowl, sixth bowl, seventh bowl, it ends with renewal, not abandonment. That's what I promised you. You'll see the entire last book differently. If this changed how you see Revelation, Fey, imagine what happens when we apply the same method to Genesis. Next week's video, Genesis was never about the age of the earth. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Here's my question for you. Which book of the Bible do you always skip? Drop it in the comments. I'll pick a few to talk about. That's it for this one. Click the next video or hit subscribe. See you next time. Fey.